Hey team, Jillian Michaels here, and I have put together some of my top tips for the Haute Living audience on how to keep yourself healthy and sane during this quarantine crisis we are all going through. And my very first tip is to bring a meaning to this. It has been said by people far wiser and smarter than me that one of the best ways to help yourself endure a tough time is by giving it a meaning. So oftentimes we can't really find a silver lining, we have to create one. So for example, for me, I'm learning so much about the various aspects of my businesses at this time to try to make sure I can keep all of my people employed, right? I am becoming a more patient mother. There's various lessons this is bringing to each and every one of us. Take the time to really stop and think about what change is in this challenge for you. And it allows us, that meaning, right, allows us to tolerate the hardship because something good could potentially come out of it. Which leads me to my next tip, which is obviously fitness, right? So how do we control things when we feel so out of control? You focus on the things that are literally within your control, right? Fitness and self-care being one of them. So one great thing that could come out of this quarantine is maybe you have time to focus on a fitness goal. Maybe you've always wanted to run a 5K. Maybe you've wanted to learn kickboxing. Maybe you want to get better at a certain yoga pose. Maybe you want to lose 10 pounds. Maybe you want to gain 5 pounds of muscle. Now's the time, right? Now is the time to say, I'm going to take this opportunity and the time I have to focus on my self-care. And maybe that meaning is exactly that, a fitness goal. So for me personally, I recommend people give me at least 7 minutes a day of activity. So one of the things that we did with my fitness app, right? It's literally Jillian Michaels, my fitness app, is we made free daily 7-minute workouts for people. You download, you get started. There's no cost, there's no barrier to entry. You don't need equipment. You can do it anytime, anywhere, and it's only 7 minutes. At the very least, give me those 7 minutes. And of course, I'm not gonna lie to you. My hope is that it's like a gateway fitness workout. You do 7 minutes, you start to feel a little more fit, you start to get into a routine that's not intimidating, that's easily accessible, and then you go, you know what, I can do 10. And 10 becomes 15, and 15 becomes 20, and eventually you live somewhere in the 20 to 30 minute workout space 4 times a week. But at the very least, give me 7 minutes. 7 minutes a day. Commit to that, right? And if you don't train with me, that's okay. Pick somebody you love, train with them. If you're great at fitness, do it on your own. But commit to 7 minutes of physical activity a day. And as I mentioned, they're free on my app. Download it, get started. No commitment, zero whatsoever. The next one is meditation. I suck at this. It's so hard for a lot of us, especially for those of us that live in a culture that's go, 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 right? It feels kind of crazy to just stop and do nothing. But you're not really doing nothing. Study after study after study will show us that taking a brief pause in your day, I mean, could be 5 minutes, could be 10, maybe some of you have time for a big meditation, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, amazing. But taking that pause and just calming down, quieting your mind, focusing on your breath, and allowing yourself to get re-centered, so to speak, literally has physical impacts beyond your comprehension. I mean, I wrote a whole book about anti-aging, and meditation is one of the top tips. We see it on a cellular level. It helps improve immunity. It helps boost mood. It increases energy. It's good for your cognitive function. So download an app, find some free ones on YouTube, but whether it's first thing in the morning or last thing at night or stopping in the middle of your day, 5 to 10 minutes to calm down and take a meditation can help so much. Now, I'm hearing a lot about the quarantine 15. This is a no. We are not coming out of this thing 15 pounds heavier unless you have weight to gain. The answer is just absolutely not. So I get it. You're anxious, you're stressed, you're bored. The fridge is there, the food is there. You're not the only one going through it, obviously. We're seeing memes everywhere about people going to the fridge every 5 seconds. Remove the crap from the house. So that's my next one, right? Tip number 4 is control your environment. Don't buy junk food And if somebody in your family is doing it, communicate to them, like see if they can put it somewhere private where you can't find it. Like, get the garbage out of the house. Willpower is a muscle. The more you utilize that muscle, as in expose yourself to temptation, the more fatigued that willpower is gonna get. So remove crap from the house. Don't buy it. No, okay? The next one is, how can you nurture yourself in ways that are life affirming? So what things make you feel good that don't compromise your health, mentally or physically? So is it going to be, God, I have this hobby that I love, I'm obsessed with it, I've always wanted to learn Spanish, I have a 25-step skincare routine, I love, I don't care what it is, knitting, gardening, I don't, like, whatever it is. What can you do, right? Whether it's a bubble bath or downloading a playlist for your next workout, how can you nurture yourself? Even if it's watching your favorite show. I mean, do it. Give yourself an episode of your favorite show every day in the midst of the chaos. Whatever it is, how can you nurture yourself in ways that are life affirming, that don't compromise your physical or your emotional health? Okay, so make that list. Next, foster a pet. So many little creatures need love, and man, like, go to a local shelter and foster a pet right now. And again, study after study after study shows us that animals can improve our physical health and our emotional well-being, the companionship, the unconditional love, plus it forces you to get out and walk the dog if you get a dog, right? You gotta do something with that pup. Consider fostering a pet. And let's see, what's a good goal? What is a goal beyond fitness? What is something that you've always wanted to do? What is a life goal for you? So stop and think about something that you've always said you were going to start but haven't. And take this moment. This could be, part of that meaning thing we discussed, but is there an agenda? So like, for example, with meaning, like I'm growing as a person, I'm growing as a businesswoman, I'm growing as a parent, but is there like a life goal? A novel you always wanted to write? Like, what is there in this moment that this time provides you that you haven't had up until now? Stop and think about that. What is that life goal? And can you start it now? Can you start researching it now? A lot to think about, I know, but a lot of us have some time on our hands at this moment. And ultimately, at the end of the day, this is my final tip on this. There is something that is extremely contagious and not bad for you, and it's a smile, right? A wave. I know it sounds cliche, but it's like you go into the world to get groceries or to, I don't know, drop food off at your parents' door, or who knows, right? We have to go into the world from time to time, and you see people, and it's like, we got this mask on, and people look at you sometimes like, literally like you could kill them. And it really sucks. And I have been doing my absolute best to like make every person in the eye smile, wave, say hello, even if it's from 6 feet away. And it's done so much for my well-being and my state of mind, because they smile back. And I see them exhale, and I see their shoulders come down a bit and their eyes soften. And it does so much for me and so much for them. It makes me feel less alone, right? It builds a sense of camaraderie. So that's my final. I think that was 8, but that's my final, is when you go in the world and you see people, smile. Smile at them, wave, say hello. And that's it. That's what I got, guys. So get to work and do those 7-minute workouts and clean the crap out of your fridge.